What's going on, guys? My name's Kyle, and today's video is going to be about if Amazon FBA is right for you. So there's a lot of information online about Amazon FBA, but if you don't already know, basically it's the system of creating your own business and outsourcing products from China, selling them on Amazon, and then you get the profits or the difference between the costs. Okay. There's a lot more that goes into it, but basically that's what it is. You're creating an online business and selling on Amazon's storefront, and it's basically fully automated once you get your products into Amazon. So in order to do this, there's a couple different things that you need. You need to be able to put in maybe an hour. In the beginning, it's a lot of upfront work, but like once you get it all set up, maybe a few hours a week on managing your storefront. And then you need to have upfront at least $1,000, I would say, to start it up. Now, a lot of the stuff online preaches that, okay, you can do this, you'll make your, six-figure income doing this, and like that's the way to go. And obviously that is a possibility. You can grow your storefront and make huge amounts of money on Amazon. Contrary to what some people think, it's still a great opportunity for people to get into. But I feel like there's, kind of this, go big or go home mentality, and that's not necessarily the way you have to go. So on Amazon FBA, a lot of people, don't want that to be their full-time job, or if you're doing other things, let's say you're going to school, or you work, some other job that you enjoy, Amazon FBA can be a great side passive income. And what I mean by that is that you can, come in with, let's say you saved up an extra $1,000 to get it started, and you just have one product and it does well, and it's making you an extra few $1,000s a month with that product. I mean, it's just like an okay product, but you can have that on top of whatever else you're doing because it's a passive income, meaning that you don't put in your time directly for the money you're getting out of it. So I feel like a lot of people don't realize that aspect of Amazon FBA, and they think that it's, oh, okay, well, I need to, put in a bunch of time and effort, and like this is going to be a full-time job. And that's really not the case. I mean, I started Amazon FBA a year ago. I was a full-time college student. I was taking the max amount of units I was even able to take in at the college I went to. And I was a senior, they're like difficult classes that I was taking. And, I just put in like an hour in the evenings doing product research and setting up my listing and whatever, all the process. And that's really all it takes. And so I feel like anyone can put in that extra hour a day, even if it means you're waking up an hour earlier before work or before you go to school. I mean, everyone can put in that little bit more of time to get this started, right? So it really doesn't take that much time. I think it's great for people that are in school, just because you don't necessarily want to be working, full time and going to school, and it's sometimes can be difficult to do that. And I know people do that, but props to those people. That's very difficult if that's one of something like that you're doing. It's difficult because you're basically working two full-time jobs, because school, in my opinion, is kind of a full-time job if you're taking a full workload. So that's why I think Amazon FBA is a great option just for getting some side income, just because it doesn't take that much time. And obviously over the course of time, you can, grow your business, start coming out with more products, but the amount of time that it takes to do it isn't, it's as much as you want to put into it. So for me, I was putting in an hour. I know some people that put in like 12 hours a day because they're, constantly doing product research and they're doing a bunch of different things online. So obviously you can do that route, but I think it's such a cool opportunity for people that don't necessarily have 12 hours to spend on their day because they have other things going on, whether it be, you're a mom taking care of your family, or, you're, or a dad staying at home taking care of the family, or, you're going to school, or you're going to work full time. Every situation that you're in, you can pursue these different types of passive income. My favorite is Amazon FBA. Now there's drop shipping, affiliate marketing, a bunch of different things, but I think Amazon is the best opportunity out there right now, just because of how how passive of an income it is, because you really don't have to do anything once it's set up. I mean, it's kind of bizarre almost after you get your first storefront set up and you're just kind of getting checks in the mail and you're like, oh, not literally in the mail, you get it sent to your bank account. But you know, it's weird to not put in like hours during that week and then you're getting sales and money for it. I remember because I was going to school when I first started out, I'd be in class and I'd be like, oh, okay, like let's see how much I made today. And I was like, oh, damn, I made $100 and it's noon. You know, so that like feeling is just bizarre almost, because it's so different than what people or what any other really business model would be. Usually, almost always, you're putting in time, and that time is directly correlated with the money you're getting out of it. So it's cool to be able to set something up where you know, put as much time as you want into that, you know, business, and then, you know, you get the outcome of, you know, however you did it. Now, obviously, it's not directly tied. So like if you put in more time to, like, you need to put in time for your research and stuff, but you can get it all done in one day, or you could do it over the course of a month. It just kind of depends on, you can go on your own pace. And that's what's kind of cool about just entrepreneurship in general, is that, you know, if you feel like you're just really driven that day and you want to work like 18 hours straight, you can do that. And there's work for you to do because you're working for yourself. Versus, I mean, if you're feeling really driven and you go in to the workplace, or if you go like to school, I mean, there's really only so much you can do, and there's like an end point, right? Whereas if you're working for yourself, there's always something you can do. You can always be expanding. You can always be doing more research. And so it gives you that opportunity to really, you know, like kick ass, work hard, and, you know, get things done. And then on the other end of the spectrum, if there's some days where maybe you're just not feeling well, maybe you're feeling sick, maybe it's just one of those days where you're kind of down in the dumps, you don't feel like, you know, putting work into, you know, your job, then there's no pressure. It's just like, okay, I don't need to do anything today. And that's obviously on the front end when you're putting in all the work. What's really cool about once you have it all set up is that, you know, let's say you don't want to invest too much and you only are investing that like $1,000 that you put in, and you're just restocking your inventory, which basically takes no time. Once you have it set up like that, you have like so much freedom as far as what you can do with your time, right? So you can, you know, pursue other hobbies. Now you have, you know, at least extra side money for yourself, even if you're still working full time or going to school full time. You have, you know, I think it's significant for a lot of people having a few extra $1,000 if they have, you know, a small Amazon FBA store. That's pretty big. And I mean, a few $1,000s, I think that's very meaningful for a lot of people to have. If you save that for a couple months, that's like, you know, a decent car. That's a vacation that you can take with your family and friends. I mean, how cool of an opportunity is that you can just have that on the side, constantly coming in and being able to, you know, have that like financial freedom that you wouldn't otherwise have. So that's my take on it. Basically, it doesn't necessarily have to be your full-time income. I know, at least for myself, like I want it to be, just because I'm not necessarily like super passionate about, other things or other like areas of study, or things to do and for like a job per se. But I know some people that are just super passionate about, certain topics. Maybe you're really into like English or teaching, or, you know, you just really enjoy the engineering classes you're taking and you want to go on to be an engineer. But you can always have that as your full-time gig and then this kind of on the side. And it's kind of fun just to, you know, have your like own business and tinker around. And obviously the money is a great plus too. So I think it's a really cool opportunity, especially for those people that, you know, kind of just want something on the side, and it's nice to have that extra money coming in. Obviously, like you've probably seen online, people have, you know, very successful online stores where they're making 6 or 7 figures. So it's all possible. It's just the amount of like investment you want to put into it. But it really takes a very small amount of time and money to get it started up. And then once you have it started up, you can kind of just leave it on autopilot and, you know, collect on your few thousand a month. Obviously, you can scale it up from that. But at the very least, it's not hard to, you know, get a semi-profitable product in and, you know, make a couple grand extra a month. And I would be hard pressed to find someone that wouldn't want that type of opportunity. So definitely check out just Amazon stuff in general. I have the courses I took down below in the description for making money online. My friend Tanner J. Fox. He had a Amazon course that I got, and that was, you know, there's a lot of information online, but the course itself goes into like a step-by-step detail on how to figure everything out. I'll probably make a separate video on that in general, but definitely go check it out. And yeah, I highly recommend looking into it, or at least looking into, you know, passive income online in general, and see what fits, you know, your personality, or, you know, what type of work you want to be doing best, and then just pursue it. Hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.